Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of my new series, Map Making with me, BonBonB. Thanks for joining me, you're very, very welcome. Now, this is a follow-up to my first map, which was Merrickstowe, very well received by you guys, and I'm still a bit of a newbie when it comes to map making. As you can see, I am hand terraforming. This is possibly the last map that I'll be doing completely by hand. The next time I'll probably be using, seeing how Terrain Party works and using height maps and tweaking them. But this particular map I really wanted to do by hand as a just to see how my skills were in terms of that. Anyway, I digress. What I want to tell you about is a little bit about why this map looks a bit different from last week. Well, I've done nothing different apart from set the sea level higher, and there's a reason for that, and the reason it was kind of revealed on Saturday's What's Map. If you were watching last week's show, I reviewed a map called Tides Map, which is a map that used the Tides mod from TPB. The thing is, when I started making this map, probably about 3 weeks ago when I actually started, I've got nowhere with it very, very fast. So busy me, so busy. The intention was for it to be used with the Tides mod by TPB, which is why the water levels were so much lower on the last show and they're so much higher on this show. What I wanted to do on this show was to start working with the high tide mark and get the full island shape of where you're likely to be building all fleshed out. Still going to be a long way from being finished, as you all know. If you've made a map before, it's never finished. You're always tweaking, you're always adjusting, and so forth. And here, all I'm doing is I'm extending like the harbour out. I feared that the harbour entrance was a little bit too wide, well over 1 kilometre wide. I wanted it narrowed up a little bit. And so, yeah, at the moment, in fact, not just at the moment, but pretty much for the whole of this show, all you'll see is me increasing the elevations and tweaking the land shapes just a little bit. And this won't be job done. This will not be job done. There's going to be so much more that I'll need doing to this map before it is anywhere near ready for any sort of detailing. It's tweaking and adjusting and fixing and so forth. Just increasing the elevations and so forth. What I've got up here though, this is going to be the high point of the entire map. This hill, this point up here, and there's going to be a feature. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. You probably guessed already what it is. But there's probably going to be a feature. Speculate down in the comments all you like. I'm not going to tell you. But yes, so there's going to be a feature on the top of this hill. It might not be what you're thinking actually, because previously in Merrickstowe we had the sundial on the top of the hill, didn't we? So maybe it's not what you're thinking. Maybe it's something unique and unusual. It's not. It's really not. It's what you're expecting it to be. So anyway, so yes, so the island fleshing out and increasing, giving the island a bit of a backbone on one side, and bringing the coastline in a little bit there, and just working on getting the elevations. The difficulty that I had with this map is I wanted it to be a small island, but I also wanted it to be buildable. And of course, each of these squares is 2 kilometres by 2 kilometres. So we're talking about an island that's 4 kilometres, approximately 4 kilometres across and 4 kilometres deep. That's pretty damn big, actually. It's not just like a small conurbation. This is big enough for a decent-sized city. What I wanted the actual main hill, I'm going to call it a mountain. It's not a mountain. I'm tweaking with a few different texture brushes here, and pretty much not happy with them when it comes through. I ignored that. It's playing. I'm learning. I'm tweaking and twiddling and so forth. I probably would go back and use texture brushing on it a little bit later on when I'm happier with the overall shape and so forth. So yes, the intention was for the mountain in the top right of the map would to loom somewhat over everything else, and to dominate the local area, and for the feature on top of it to be the thing that you look up to and go, ooh, like in Rio de Janeiro, and the old statue of what's the bloke up there in Rio? Is it Donald Trump? That guy. Anyway, the guy overlooking, you know the one. You saw the Olympics. Anyway, no, kidding, not Donald Trump. I'm not even. No, just move away from politics and religion, which means I can't talk about that statue at all. Anyway, oh dear. Yes, I feel redeemed now. Oops. Oops. Anyway, yes. So, long story short, that's kind of the feel that I wanted for this mountain in the corner of the main island, just to sort of like loom over the rest of everything else, and that was the plan. But with the map being 4 kilometers square, when you actually start fleshing this out, for that to actually work, this mountain has to be freaking enormous, freaking huge. I'm playing in the corner of the map at the moment just to give the corner of the map just a little bit more terrain, a little bit more a reason to be. There's only going to be like a road and rail coming in from here, and there's certainly going to, I think there's a rail going to be coming along this section here as well, but we'll come back to that. Yes, so that particular mountain would have to absolutely be ginormous, and that would eat into the amount of build space, and it's that juggle, playing with the how much space do I want to assign to buildable location, and how much do I want it to be into features. And I think I might be getting it right, but I won't know until I've actually finished doing it whether I'm happy with it or not. Here I am once again, just like shaping the terrain. This is rough terrain work, guys. Honestly, you'll see me come back to this at a later date and go, nope, I don't like that at all. And actually, I'm looking at it now going, I don't like that at all either. Yeah, this is me just getting rough terrain heights and then use the smoothing tool just to make it more realistic, and then come back and tweak it again later, and later still. Later. Right, so yes, I wasn't actually sure if I was going to get this particular episode out. Once again, those of you that watch the What Map shows regularly will know that I was a victim of crime this weekend. And in fact, for me, it's 26 hours ago. I say not major crime. I mean, all crime is major. All crime is major. And it has certainly cost me in the back pocket as well. It was an attempted break-in at my workplace. I'm self-employed, so therefore this is personal cost to me. Yes, I have insurance for these things, but unfortunately there's such a thing called excess, and those of you that are grown up enough to know about insurance and excess is the amount that you're prepared to pay towards any damage, and of course that cuts down on your insurance premiums. Usually nothing happens, obviously, so if you've got a car and you say, right, well, I'll pay the first £500 of any damages, and the insurance company go, oh, that's okay then, well, we'll reduce your premiums and you'll have to pay less to us. And of course, if nothing ever happens to your car, then you've kind of saved yourself a little bit in premiums. And if something happens to your car, well, it costs you £500, but the insurance company will pay the rest. It kind of works like that. It's not exactly like that, because the insurance companies will try and get out of paying anything usually as well. So, yes. Anyway, the excess on glass for anything basically is usually pretty low. High. That's what I meant. High, not low. So, yes, most of the damage that was suffered during the attempted break-in was glass damage, and so my actual insurance premium was, insurance excess was higher than the amount of damage. So I've got to pay for all the damage that was caused by this attempted break-in. Fortunately, though, they didn't get onto the premises because partly I am pretty secure, considering it's not actually a secure building. It's just a regular building. I don't have huge shutters and parapets and armies stood outside and the guard dog and so forth. Nothing like that. But I was on the premises when it happened. Don't think they were expecting anybody to be here, but I was. And they took a crowbar to the front door and started smashing away at the glass, which is obviously security glass, so it doesn't crack in that easy. Got to give it several good almighty whacks with a crowbar. And they made a small hole through the glass, and then I appeared and shouted, "Go away! Go away! Leave me alone!" Or words to that effect in Anglo-Saxon, and they legged it, because obviously the last thing you want to do is be caught in the act of breaking into a property. It's not quite like doing a robbery. You don't want robbery. You know you're going to be seen. In burglary, you really don't want to be seen. It's low risk, supposedly, and obviously saw them, got them on CCTV and all that kind of pajazzle. But it left me with a big pile of tidying up and glass clearage, and having to patch up some glass on the weekend, saving myself a call-out fee on the boarding up companies and so forth. So yeah, gotta love them, little criminal sods. Anyway, it kind of ruined my weekend, and I spent, by the time I went and saw Infinity War as well. Woo! No spoilers, don't worry, not going to tell you what happened. Nope, go and see it yourself. By the time I had been to Infinity War, I then come back and did all the fixing up and police reports and all the bits and bobs that just infuriate you and get in the way of actually achieving anything. Well, this is a causeway, by the way. I'm building a causeway. We'll see that in a lot more detail in future shows. I mean, by the time I'd done all that, I probably lost 10 hours of the day between the break-in and Infinity War. And I was intending to use that for map making and what mapping and all that kind of stuff. Never happened. So you're lucky this is even out today. I will endeavour to stay ahead of myself and get some more stuff done in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, and make sure that these series keep coming. Anyway, we're getting quite close towards the end of the show now. We can see building up the height of the causeway to a reasonable level. I haven't decided how we're going to be joining these up. I've got some ideas for stone bridges and so forth, but we'll see that in later episodes. Anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for joining me for more map making with BonBonB. You guys are absolutely the best. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Join me Monday to Saturday for regular What maps, Sundays for tutorials and other stuff. Also Friday Fever, Transport Fever. Anyway, you guys have an absolutely great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.